Hello everyone, good morning and happy Tuesday. My name is Elena Riley and I'm here at the Alert Center to bring you our top morning headlines for here this morning. So let's get into those. My top one here for you is that today the Omaha City Council will vote on an ordinance that would make camping on public property a misdemeanor. So that's the homeless encampments there on public property. During a town hall last night, Mayor John Ewing Jr. said he opposes criminalizing homelessness, and he threatened to issue his first veto in opposition to the ordinance. So let's go get some video of that. Alrighty, well, Ewing said, if the vote doesn't go the way I expect on Tuesday, I will give my first veto. And Ewing said that to applause from more than 50 residents at his second town hall meeting. Well, with the proposed ordinance, people at the camps would be relocated to shelters. And after steps and actions are taken, those that do not comply would face fines of up to $300. But the mayor's next town halls are scheduled for Wednesday at the Montclair Community Center and next Monday at the Saddlebrook Community Center. They're both from 6 to 7:30 p.m. Alrighty, next up, Nico Jenkins, the man who murdered 4 people back in 2013, appeared in court via video camera yesterday morning. On August 31st, his legal team said his mental state is getting worse and that he hasn't had an IQ test in over a decade. And Judge Peter Battalion heard arguments from both sides yesterday on whether Jenkins needs more evaluation. And the defendants asked the court to approve funding for the mental evaluation. His defense attorney argued his last trial was short and there was no proper evaluation on his mental capacity. But he says more funding is needed for Jenkins to get expert opinion and an IQ test. And both sides discussed that Jenkins has had 3 IQ tests, but they are all more than 10 years old. And the defense argues this is not currently an adequate assessment. The battalion decided that he will take matters under advisement as he reviews prior cases before he makes an official decision on this. Well, moving along here, an incident yesterday evening led a flight leaving from Eppley Airfield here in Omaha to turn around almost immediately after taking off. According to CNN, the emergency landing began just 18 minutes after takeoff. That was at 6:41 p.m. yesterday. The American Airlines flight, it was bound for Los Angeles, landed because the pilot could not communicate with flight attendants. And the pilot also reported hearing someone outside the cockpit door. But once on the ground, investigators found the interphone system on the plane had failed, and it was the flight crew that the pilot heard knocking on the door. Well, Flight 6469 was operated by SkyWest Airlines, is what CNN reports. Well, next up, the Nebraska Department of Transportation is looking at ways to rebuild a bridge on Omaha's busiest street. So the Dodge Street Bridge over Saddle Creek Road has been around for nearly 100 years. Wow. There are plans to replace it, even though it is a National Historic Landmark and America's first cross-country highway. But an official with NDOT says they plan to work with historical societies to find the best way to preserve the history of the structure. And though the project isn't slated to start until 2029, trying to figure out how to replace the bridge without closing Dodge Street for months is a concern. NDOT wants public input on this project, and several informational sessions will be planned in the future. That's what we are told.
Are you coming to me or was I coming to you? And comparing you, where are you located?
My next headline is that new federal guidelines have removed Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program eligibility for some people in Nebraska entirely. In a release on Friday, the Nebraska Department of Health and Human Services shared that SNAP eligibility has been limited to those who reside in the U.S. and are a citizen lawfully admitted for permanent residence with no intention of abandoning their residence in a foreign country, Cuban and Haitian entrants, and allowed to live and work in the U.S. under the Compacts of Freedom Association. Eligibility has been removed for refugees, those granted asylum, and any others not mentioned in those points above. Other changes include expanded work requirements for able-bodied adults, and people between 18 and 64 years old will either have to work, train, or volunteer at least 20 hours per week with these requirements. And with the government still shut down, DHHS is waiting for additional federal guidance, and they will provide more updates as they come in. Well, last up, the Douglas County Election Commission has released more deadlines for those voting in the upcoming special recall election in Valley. Residents have until 6 p.m. on Friday to ask for a replacement ballot. One would want this option if they did not receive a ballot or if there is a mistake on the ballot they got. You must send a request for a replacement ballot to the Election Commission in writing. They cannot be requested over the phone, but you can contact 402-444-8683 for the replacement ballot application. These completed applications can go to a Dropbox or be mailed or delivered to 12220 West Center Road or fax to 402-444-4181. Another option is to send a clear picture or scan of the completed form to early.voting@douglascountynE.gov. And valid drop boxes are at I mentioned this location earlier, 12220 West Center Road here in Omaha, 15505 West Maple Road in Omaha, and then 2100 Reading Plaza there in Elkhorn. All right, that is all I have for you this morning. We'll head to our website at First Alert 6 to check out this web story for more. That is 6 things you need to know. Of course, today is Tuesday, October 21st. I bring this to you at about 6 a.m. every weekday morning. Get you some shorter headlines. Along with that, we have this live stream in the 8 a.m. hour every weekday morning as well. So I really appreciate you joining me here, and have a great start to your day.